everybody, and welcome to the Teachings of Joseph. I'm Cindy Edison. In this podcast, Joseph gives us their perspective of the process and what the process is exactly. What is the concept and how does it unfold when we allow it to move us? Joseph said to me a few months ago, when things were just beginning to get a little hairy out there, to allow the energy to move me. They meant, of course, their energy, the energy of me and them, my complete being, if you will, within the universe. You know, I'm trying to illustrate what that meant to me with words, and words we have to choose from don't really touch the surface of this meaning of what they were talking about. So let's talk about that a little bit. The universe, as we all know, is energy and is made up of unlimited vibrational patterns or vibrational timelines that are always, always, always moving and expanding exponentially on an eternal time frame. And I'll say this on that note, relax out there, everybody. Your time frame is eternal. Nothing ends. It just transforms, right? Nothing ever ends. It's energy. You can't kill it. So anyway, relax. But I digress here. So the process of expansion is what we're talking about. The process is expansion. And this process is what moves the universe, what grows the universe, and in turn, what grows us. So the process is one of movement of energy. This is what Joseph was encouraging me to do with their suggestion of simply allowing the movement of the universe, the natural movement of the universe, uninterrupted movement. It's not interrupted or taken off course by the realm of fear, you see. It is at the most expanded vibration, the most expanded consciousness, and and Joseph, your soul, your higher self, or God, if you prefer, is this consciousness. Simply put, and enough for us, the human aspect of our soul, to understand, which will allow our own expansion when we are allowing that consciousness of us to guide and direct our path. We are in fact doing that, allowing the energy of our soul to move us into position, so to speak. So let's take a step here with that thought. Now that we know that the process is always moving, the process is movement, right? And we're told to trust the process, trust the movement of the universe, and ultimately the universal laws, or as we call them, universal truths. The next layer, as it translates, is trust itself. All right, so we have a process laying there, and it has several layers that are contained, unlimited layers actually. And I see the next to the bottom process layer as the layer of trust itself. So, talking about trust, many of us have issues with trusting. And generally speaking, this belief around trust is a direct result of trusting someone and then being let down by them, right? Disappointed that they didn't behave the way we thought they should or would. And it doesn't really matter what that action or behavior was. What does matter is that the trust, as you defined it, was placed in something or someone outside of yourself, which means it was placed outside of the universal flow, outside of the laws of the universe, the universal truths. Therefore, that belief, that trust you had, your belief in the trust, how you define it, in someone else was out of alignment with you. It's out of alignment with who you really are, which is why it crashed and burned. So now we're pissed off at trust when our choosing of that belief was out of alignment. So of course the manifestation is going to be out of alignment too. So let me clear that up. And first I want to say that they do not want to skew this understanding by implying that we're suggesting you have no trust in others. That's not what it's about. That's not the concept or the point here. The point we're making is when you are in alignment and your focus is on alignment and allowing your soul to guide and lead you, you are in fact allowing that energy to move you to the next opportunity for expansion. So when you put your trust in anything outside of yourself, you are, in essence, relying on someone else to direct your path, because now you're out of alignment. Let me go on to say there are a lot of issues with this perspective, and the main one, as we see it, is that everyone is unique and they are all making their own decisions based on their own perspective, which is based on their experiences and their unique beliefs. But their experience is not your experience or my experience. So their decisions and choices made for you are not conducive to your vibrational pattern, and therefore out of alignment with your higher self. They're out of alignment with you because it's not your experience. Our vibrations are very unique. So let's move away from that perspective and talk about your own movement, our own individual movement. I'm going to give you a personal experience here to help demonstrate the movement of this. This is a really cool one, it was so long ago, years ago, when I was just getting into all this stuff. I was seeing this spiritual guru of sorts. I'm not a fan of that word guru, but I can't think of another one that describes him better so that we can understand who he was. He was one of the coolest guys I've ever met, peaceful, but so powerful. He was just, you're around him and you can, his vibration was just amazing just to be around. Anyway, he was the first one actually to show me how to connect with my soul through gazing. I don't know if any of you, I'm sure many of you know what gazing is, and it comes in a lot of different forms. But anyway, he was the first one that showed me how to do that, and through gazing, I was able to connect with my higher self. So he opened a door for me. Okay, so it was fascinating. It was just fascinating with him. Anyway, I had 4 or 5 sessions with him, and I was expanding so quickly that it felt as if I should be holding on to some kind of railing. It was so cool. Anyway, so I walked into my last session with him, and we started chatting, and he said, so I was asking my guides where to take you next. And that's the point where I stopped listening. Now, I have so much respect for this guy and the work he's doing. He's really quite amazing. However, as far as my time with him was concerned, I knew at that point it was over. I had experienced with him that particular step in my own journey, that event, if you will, what Josef refers to as an event, or if those of you who have followed us for a while understand our domino theory, that was a falling of a domino. So that was an event in my own unfolding that moved me to the next reveal, so to speak, and that reveal would take me in a different direction. The reveal with him was the opening of my eyes to my own connection with my own soul. He showed me how to get there. So my soul at that point had clearly stepped in to impulse me into a different direction than he had seen for me. So this is where the rubber meets the road. So I paid attention at that moment. I felt my own shift. Okay, this was done. So when he said that he had asked his guides where to take me, I knew that his guides were not my guides. We have different paths, and he played an important role at that time for me, as all of our teachers do. As we expand, new teachers are thrown in our path. They step up and they say, okay, it's my turn. He opened me to new possibilities, and that was his job for me. He was put on my path at the perfect time based on my unique purpose and my unique evolution. We had made this agreement prior to the incarnation for both of us. This specific timing and our purpose for each other had been realized. It's so beautiful. This is the allowing of the energy to move you. I had come to trust him, and what he was showing me was in alignment. So my trust was in my own knowing, you see, and that trust was in my own alignment. It was no longer in alignment when he said, I asked where I should take you. My guides were saying, now we're going to take you to the next step. They had taken me to him, and now it was time for the next step. You get that? It was so cool. So when it was no longer in alignment, because I had expanded beyond that purpose, right? That event would take me to the next event. We went in different directions. We vibrated away from each other, me in my line, in my path, and he on his. It was a beautiful, beautiful exchange. This is an example of allowing the process to unfold, and the process is always, always, always the same for everybody, but the elements are unique. The events are unique. The pathways are unique, and your purpose is unique. That's why everything leading you to your purpose is unique. The people who are here to assist in our movement forward are those who signed on, so to speak, prior to our coming in. That's why we're all here together at this time. You see, we all chose to be here at this time. When Ram Dass said, we are all walking each other home, we would say he hit the nail on the head on that one. We are walking together. We all decided to come here at this time to experience this unfolding. And so the process of the unfolding is the same, but we all experience it differently, all uniquely based on our purpose. So we're offering you about this process, about the process itself. It's one of trusting yourself. It's trusting your own judgment in choosing your vibration through the choosing of your thoughts based on the experience you prefer to have. This is a choosing, your own choosing. It's all about you and your choices. This is trusting in the laws, the law of the universal movement. You are an energetic vibration who exists within the universal movement. As Abraham describes it, you can choose to work really hard and paddle upstream in a fast-moving river, or drop the oars and float with the current downstream, where you're sure to be taken to the vicinity of your desires during a peaceful journey throughout your own evolution. That's so beautiful. This is conscious choosing, guys. This is understanding who you really are and what your purpose is in the third dimension, which is always foundationed in the expansion of the love consciousness where your soul resides, where the largest part of you is hanging out, assisting in our movement, in your individual movement. As it is allowed to participate, we must invite it, and that comes with your choosing alignment, because there's no resistance when you're in alignment, right? So that's what this trusting is all about. This is the space of alignment. Alignment is a space of creation. And that creation is the creating of reality of peace, a reality of joy, and ever-expanding consciousness of love. That's our underlying purpose, all of us. We all have unlimited purposes, but that's our underlying purpose. And that's where all our desires, our loving desires, and our, like my purpose is to teach. We all have these purposes that we come from, and that's where our passion is, right? And our passion is housed within alignment. I love that. So trusting, people, is the process. When you begin to understand more of who you really are, you come to understand that you are, in fact, trust. You are alignment because you are one with your soul. You are that consciousness. You are one with the universe because you are an aspect of God. We are all aspects of God. Excuse me. I think that's a good starting place. I'm going to end that there. I think that's some good food for thought. We love this topic because it offers an opportunity to understand more of who we are. And as we understand more, as Joseph says, we expand. Understanding manifests itself in our expansion. I love that. Joseph's message, if you haven't realized this so far, is one of self-reliance, self-responsibility, and selfishness from the perspective of loving everything and everybody. And they mean loving from their perspective, which is all love. Seeing and treating everyone, including yourselves. I am guilty of this sometimes too, not as much anymore. Comes with the territory, right? Treating ourselves as the soul of God that we are. We're an aspect of God. When you see the value, when you see the value of yourself and your worthiness, you automatically and simultaneously see the value in others. When you stop judging yourself, you stop judging others. Part of the territory. We are teaching a shift in perspective that accommodates the consciousness shift that we're all experiencing right now. We are part of this shift because we are part of the universe. This is a universal shift for our planet, for the human collective, which is where we're focused in assisting the human collective to move beyond the realm of fear where we've been hanging out for eons of time. So we're expanding to the consciousness of the fifth dimension. And so we, the human collective, must shift our perspective to that perspective, or we can't experience that dimension, right? If you're focused in the third dimension all the time, you can't see beyond it. We must shift our way out. Just beautiful. Okay, hope that helped everybody. Email us your questions at the info at the teachingsofjoseph.com. Check out our website. All our quotes are on there, and we're loading our podcast as we start this whole YouTube thing. We're just getting going, so check back regularly. We're on a roll here. We got some really good podcasts coming up with some clients. I'm starting a new series called an inside look or behind the Zoom screen look at client sessions. What I've realized through my most recent clients over the past few months is the teachers are stepping forward just as Joseph told me they would. This message is for teachers, and it is the expanded message of Seth and Abraham, brings another element to it. So the clients that have been coming to us are coming vibrationally. So if you are led to this message, you are one of them, and it will serve you as it's meant to for as long as it's meant to, just like my teacher served me in that capacity. It was just fabulous. So if you're here, there's something here that you need to understand or you need to hear to get to your next step or to your next event in our unfolding. So if you have any questions, just email us at the website. I get them all. They're forwarded to me, and we will respond. But we are starting this new client sessions because a lot of these questions that are coming from these teachers who are all amazing in their own right are speaking for all of us. Joseph tells me they're speaking for the collective. So we're going to share those. And these clients have been there because they're teachers, just makes me well up. Because they're teachers, they want also to share this part of the teaching, which is their own expansion, which is what I'm doing too, which is what we're all doing, because the best teaching mode is our exampling of it, right? So we're all in this together. We're all moving forward. So these are going to be great. So check back with us. Love you guys. We're going to continue this discussion in particular. We're going to continue all of these discussions because part of this new series with the teachers is there's so many elements to this, but it will allow us all to watch evolution in process, watch the expanding process as it happens. It's going to be great. So email any questions you have, and we'll add to this as we go. But for now, you guys take good care. Love you guys, and we will talk again soon. Take it easy.